And the team are now looking at this tricycle parked in the emergency bay. There's actually 2 people sleeping here. They haven't woken up yet. Okay, there you go. Good morning everyone, MMDA back on the road. Right now they're operating in Scout area. You'll see a sign up there that says no parking both sides, so they're issuing a ticket to this one here. The tricycle is now being ticketed for parking on the sidewalk. Last time he was apprehended, he said he doesn't have a license. Again, he's not able to show a license, but of course the MMDA still don't have any towing or impounding. So luckily there is a license plate and they can ticket that. And over here they're issuing a ticket to this one, partially in the road, partially on the sidewalk. Looks like the driver just gave the license, so it will be attended illegal parking, 1,000 peso. And over here the team are asking for the license from this driver. Again, partially on the sidewalk, partially in the road. There is no parking allowed along here. And it's not just cars that are being ticketed. This motorcycle here is also being ticketed for obstructing the sidewalk. And over here they're asking for the license from this one. Same reason, parked on the sidewalk. And over here you'll see sidewalk until you get to this point, and then it's fully obstructed by this ongoing construction. So it says I was writing out a ticket now. That's 1,000 peso obstructing the sidewalk. I think you can apply for a special permit from the city which actually allows you to occupy the sidewalk during construction, but I think there are certain requirements like providing a secure alternative to pedestrians. Although one of the guys was arguing, the rest of them have now come out and they're starting to remove all these construction materials, and they said they will clear the sidewalk. And they just stopped this motorcycle here. Unfortunately the driver wasn't wearing his helmet, and the team are now looking at these food carts that are on the sidewalk, obviously obstructing it. I think the sidewalk clearing team are just behind me now. You see they're selling hot dogs, shawmai, squid balls, chicken balls, all kinds of different food. The problem is it's a sidewalk for pedestrians, it's not a place for businesses. There won't be any penalty though, and the team are moving on now. And they're now issuing a ticket to this car, a couple of motorcycles behind, and the white car in the distance. As soon as they heard the team siren, they came running out, jumped in the vehicles, but it's too late because when the team arrived, they saw them parked here, so they're issuing tickets now. So behind that car you see the 2 motorcycles being ticketed, and this is the white car also being ticketed. And just across from those vehicles they're issuing a ticket to this one, parked in the road. And the team are now issuing a ticket to this one. You can see this is clearly a sidewalk. There is paid parking in the area, so people don't have to park on the sidewalk. They can pay to park legally elsewhere. And over here they're issuing a ticket to this motorcycle, also parked on the sidewalk. It's very hard to get shots this morning because the sun is just terrible. It's really blinding the camera. And they just stopped this motorcycle rider here. Unfortunately he was riding with his helmet on his elbow instead of his head, so that is a 1,500 peso ticket. You do feel bad for people, but they have to enforce the law because they want to really enforce safety. In fact, it says on his jacket right there, safety first. This is for the good of the riders. Anyway, driver's not arguing, given his license. And right now they're issuing a ticket to this driver. He has his hazard lights on, but there's a sign right behind me that says no parking. And right now they're speaking to this lady. Actually, they've been here so many times visiting these stores, these food stores on the sidewalk. The last time they were here was about 2 weeks ago, and they had an expired permit. And actually I came past here yesterday and I saw the tarpaulins were rolled down like this, and then they had chairs on the sidewalk and tables. You'll see they now have a new barangay clearance, and this one is valid from October 1 until December 30. So the barangay continued to give them a clearance even knowing that they're obstructing the sidewalk. And you see the sidewalk clearing team are now working on actually removing these tarpaulins to prevent them from extending over the sidewalk every day. But the rest of their stuff won't be confiscated because of their barangay clearance. So you see they're taking that tarpaulin over to the truck now, and there goes the other tarpaulin now. The guy said, I just heard him, he said, I'm sorry, but we did give you a warning before. And actually they've given many warnings. Right now they're looking at this one here, hazard lights on, sign right there, no parking this side. Some people think if you leave your hazard lights on you can't be ticketed, but of course you're still obstructing the road. Nobody can pass through you just because you put your hazard lights on. Right now they're issuing a ticket to this one, and 2 more tickets being issued to these vehicles. You can see the driver just came back to this one. Aside from cars parked here, there's also motorcycles like this one. He's already surrendered his license, so they'll just issue a ticket, send him on his way. If you look here, you'll see a little bit of sidewalk, then it's obstructed by the truck, motorcycle and the Honda over there. So that's 3 tickets being issued now, obstructing the sidewalk. And over here they stopped this motorcycle. Unfortunately there's a lady on the back, she wasn't wearing a helmet. And here's one more vehicle that would be ticketed now. There is a sign across from that car. It says no parking along Mabuhay Lane. The team are now looking at this one, which has to be some of the worst parking I've ever seen. Here it is from another angle. You can see this is the corner for the intersection, and look at how he's parked. Incredible. And over here they're issuing a ticket to this motorcycle rider for illegal parking. They literally just told this gentleman, don't drive away without your helmet. He ignored them, and now he'd be ticketed 1,500. He was actually on this sidewalk over here about to leave, and then Cesar said to him, sir, don't leave without a helmet. And he just kind of said, oh well, I'm just going nearby. He went into the road, went around like this, got apprehended riding without helmet. So he was given a chance.
Mag-helmet po kayo kasi bawal lang walang helmet ha.
Yan lang kasi ako, sir.
Kahit po dyan kayo, kahit malayo kayo, once sumampa kayo ng motor, dapat nakasuot kayo ng helmet. Hindi po natin pwede katulan na malapit lang kayo. Ang pinag-uusapan natin dito yung safety nyo. Ha?
They just stopped this motorcycle here, lady on the back, no helmet. They said, hey, we're just going nearby. And over here the team are looking at this motorcycle parked on the sidewalk, and the team are now looking at this tricycle parked in the emergency bay. There's actually two people sleeping here. They haven't woken up yet. Okay, there you go. The emergency bay is meant to be for, well, obviously emergencies, not for a long-term parking or sleeping. One of the enforcers has gone over there to speak about those vehicles obstructing the sidewalk. I can't easily get over there because obviously there's a high flow of traffic here. So we'll just observe from this distance. I can also see a green car over there sitting on the sidewalk with his hazard lights turned on. Again, that's the kind of thing where when the team approaches, he will try and drive away and say, hey, I'm leaving. The problem is, how long were you there? 5 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour? And there you go, as expected, once the enforcer walked over here, the driver tried to leave. And you see the driver surrendered his license, and they'll issue a ticket now. And they also just took this man's driver's license. His motorcycle was parked here in the road. He moved it once the team walked over here, but since they already saw it parked in the road, they'll issue a ticket. You'll see the driver of this truck already signed his ticket, and they just stopped this gentleman here riding without helmet. The driver actually had a helmet in his back box, but they'll still issue a ticket because when they stopped him, he wasn't wearing the helmet. The team are now back in Barangay Santol, so they just stopped this gentleman here. He has a helmet, but he just had it sitting on the front instead of wearing it on his head. So they're asking him now for his license so they can issue a ticket. And the sidewalk clearing team are looking to remove these tarpaulins to extend over the sidewalk, but I don't know if they're going to do anything about the chairs and tables and everything else where people have made them into eateries. It looks like they're not. And then now we're issuing a ticket to this gentleman. Unfortunately, there was a lady and a young child on the bike, no helmets. So that's excess passenger plus no helmet. And I think from that face, no license. And yeah, verified, doesn't have a driver's license. Since the MMDA still don't have any towing or impounding, they can't take the bike. So what they've done is they've handed it over to a deputized traffic enforcer from the barangay. They'll tell him, hey, issue a ticket to this one, the excess passenger, no helmet, no license, and then impound it here at the barangay hall. So the barangay are leading the team. The first road they've taken them to has a basketball hoop in the middle of the road. So right now the team are removing the weighted blocks from this, and then they're going to load it onto their truck and confiscate it. But most likely the barangay will go and claim this back. It's happened in the past, not specifically in this area but other areas. And what they ask is please find a different place for it, not here in the road, because it's considered as an obstruction. They're turning it around so they can put the heavy side on the truck first. So it took a little bit of work, but they got it on the truck and they'll tie it down now. Looks like they're also going to use the winch there to hold it tight in place. Over here they're issuing a ticket to this motorcycle parked on the sidewalk. If the driver comes out, gives the license and moves it, they'll get the cheaper ticket. If there's no driver, it's unattended, 2,000 peso. And over here the team are issuing a ticket to this car parked in the road. Barangay said it's not allowed parking here. And one of the team just pointed out to me, there's a mini pineapple here.
Pineapple?
And what you'll notice all around the barangay is these yellow lines painted. I guess they're trying to say that actually the sidewalk's only this wide, even if it used to be that wide, and that way none of these properties are an obstruction. And over here you'll see narrow sidewalk, and then when you get this far there's a vehicle blocking it. So they're just writing out the ticket now. No driver, so it's the more expensive 2,000 peso. The barangay also asked the team to remove this one because according to the barangay, every weekend they place it in the road here and it causes a lot of traffic. You can see obviously this is the blocks that they're using to weigh it down over here, and here's the lines of the court painted on the road. And actually taking a closer look at this, you can see all the metal is rusted through. So potentially what could happen is this fails, falls down and then crashes someone in the road or sidewalk. So putting aside any obstruction to traffic, this is really a danger. I think they're gonna have a little bit of a hard time fitting it, but they'll find a way. We've seen it in the past, as long as they make sure it's all secure, tied down and safe before they move away. And one more ticket being issued over here to this car parked just on this bend. Next to this car you can actually see where the sidewalk is being painted yellow to warn people not to park on a corner. Actually it doesn't need to be painted because as a driver when you get your license you're meant to learn things like that. You can't park on a corner. And they just stopped this motorcycle here, both the driver and passenger without helmets. Trying to stop that motorcycle. Why don't they listen? They need to send their rider. There you go. So they managed to capture that motorcycle. There's a little girl standing on the front. Of course, no helmet plus excess passenger. Very dangerous to put your child in that situation. Right now the team are looking at this tricycle parked on the sidewalk and this tricycle over here parked in the road. This is only 2 lanes and there's a lot of vehicles passing through here. Right now they're looking at this one, partially in the road, partially on the sidewalk. The thing is, this is a mini tanker used for fighting fires. So they don't like to ticket these kind of vehicles because they have such a useful purpose. But at the same time they have to apply the rules to everyone. If you obstruct the sidewalk, if you park in the road, then they have to ticket. And they just stopped this motorcycle here. Daddy, no helmet. Little boy at the front, no helmet. Little girl at the back does have a helmet. So that would be excess passenger, no helmet, driving in slippers. Quite an expensive ticket. So the team are now back at the barangay and I asked them what happened to the motorcycle that was impounded earlier today and turned over to the barangay. And some of the guys sitting outside said, ah no, he already took it, he left already. And then I thought, okay. So I asked the deputized traffic enforcer what happened to the bike, and he said, oh no, it's okay already. I said, what do you mean it's okay already? Did you impound the bike and move it to another area? Did you write a ticket? And then he said, oh no, it's okay already, and then walked away. So I waited for him to come back and I asked him again what happened, and he said, well, it's gone. I said, was a ticket issued? And they said they don't have any record of any ticket being issued. They don't have any record in the logbook. So yeah, unfortunately that's the problem. If the MMDA had towing and impounding, they would have taken the bike immediately for not having a driver's license, but instead turned it over to the barangay, and it appears that the bike is gone and there's no penalty at all.